team that can actually challenge ViCi on maps that they're incredibly comfortable on maps where they can take the likes of Tyloo the whole way or even beat them. Tiger are able to come through and show them how it's done. Now, I think for ViCi, deciding on starting sides could be a relatively big deal. I mean, you look at their history on this map, and I have to say, if they manage to get that CT side start, Tiger could be in for a little bit of trouble. I mean, we know obviously that typically Tiger aren't necessarily the best when it comes down to CT sides, and with the exception of the game versus Checkmate and beyond, they've always started T side on the ViCi side, and it's been like 10 rounds. I think it's 9 rounds average, which is pretty fantastic. And they're going into the knife round, obviously going to be deciding which team manages to start where. I don't know about you, Tom, but for me in general, the CT side is going to be weaker for Tiger. And I don't know if they'd rather start there like on the previous map because of that.
Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I imagine any team winning the knife round on this map is going to choose CT side. Like I feel like no matter like your tactics or the level of depth, I can't specifically think of any team that would opt to choose T side. Maybe Astralis when they were in like their golden era, because they it would almost put the fear of God into their opponents that they could win that many rounds on the T side. And I guess they got used to it because they would always pick the map, so then they'd have to start T side. But other than that, I don't really know where you do it. Like, it is a heavily favored side of the map. It's not the most, as we've seen with Train, but it's definitely up there nowadays. And I think especially in this region, with the amount of teams that don't specifically know how to play too well on this map, if you can just slam them out in the first half, then that's pretty much game over. But Tiger, they've got that CT side start. ViCi are going to have to do it on the T side once again. They invest into double Molotovs in the early stages of this one. And by the looks of it, they're just going to burst straight down ramp, something they do quite regularly. Nice start for Cabal. Zoking is going to double entry. This time the Molotov used to hold, but Jam Young, he's just slaughtered them, leaving Dobu as the last man standing. Now, I've sort of anointed this man the retake king. This would be one hell of a task.
That it certainly would. What an entry by ViCi. Now they've got that site, they've got the 3v1, and they know exactly where he is. There's no way he gets away with this. Absolutely none. They're taking fights one at a time. Please tuck away. Please play the crossfires, Jam Young, you lunatic. But it's worked out. Can't really criticize it too much. Tiger had a really interesting setup. So 2 players tucked up close on ramp, 1 peak.
They were ready.
Like, the fact that ViCi expected that, I don't know if they've done massive amounts of research, but that is fair play. You check your corners. It's the famous line by Captain Price. I want to say, though, just on the T side, quickly highlight, like, when they did start on T side, they got 7 rounds versus WotZai and 11 versus Tyloo. So I think for Tiger, their T side is definitely solid from what we've seen. I think getting off to a solid start on their T side for ViCi is very important.
Yeah, at the same time, Tyloo don't play this map. Yeah. So, and like, I don't want to give too much over to that, especially with like Checkmate. We've spoken about how sure they as well managed to beat ViCi, which was incredible, something we never expected, but they have not got many maps on record on this map at all. So there is no research teams could have done. I think that we've seen a lot more preparation go into this map from ViCi after the loss. And the same on Train. They looked very, very good. It was just a few critical mistakes and afterplants that lost them that map. The other thing is, what I will say is I think that Tiger, like, just going back to that pistol round, I think they've done some preparation of their own, because they sent a couple of players towards the ramp, and that is a very common pistol strategy for ViCi. It's something they do quite regularly. So they were prepared. Unfortunately, ViCi, well, I say unfortunately, they did their job. They did what they needed to do. Quick push in, the MP9 retrieved, and the same fate met Dobu. He's going to manage to get one. He's confused as to where the second player has actually disappeared to. Bomb's going to be retrieved. Zoking is desperately low, and somehow none of those bullets connect onto him. So they'll keep all the rifles going forward, get their 2-0, and now probably not going to be much, if any, of an investment from Tiger, as they want to wait for their purchase.
one of these depressing rounds where you just know what's coming. And I think you got to approach it with some form of strategy. I love to see teams playing together. I love to see nades bought up in rounds like this as well, especially for outside. They can do a lot of damage, and we'll see a lot of teams, especially the likes of Astralis. They're one of the most impressive things for me a few months back when I was analyzing Astralis for a team was how they vary their outside nades. It's a very small detail, but you'll see massive, and I think it's, look, it's an Astralis thing in general. You look at their Inferno as well. The amount of damage these guys do with utility is insane. And when it comes to Nuke, it's like anytime you go to outside, there's probably a nade coming to you. And it's very difficult to predict because they vary it. Sometimes they double stack it early. The player that's coming to A main will lob one with you. Sometimes the player A main will lob one. The second guy will delay 5-10 seconds. It's pretty much at random, at their own discretion, and lob one through. They rotate a player in off the side if things are going slower. Chuck one in, why not? Like, it's... in some ways, it's a minor detail, Tom, but if you can manage to deal 30 damage to a player every single round, well, that's worth the investment because it makes it much more likely you survive. And what's just happened? Zoking had an SMG, in fairness, but now they've lost a rifle.
Oh, I like that from 9. He's trying to bait them in to the bomb. It's something I don't remember that being overly successful too many times. I remember Flusher doing it once and getting a multi-frag on multiple different players. I'm not sure, but like that Zoking battle was one of the most awkward things I've ever seen.
He's been whiffing like crazy today. I mean, that play on Train earlier where he got, I think it was Jam Young? Yeah, it was. Jam Young killed and then himself by an SMG when they both had Galils. It's like, come on, bro. And then somehow in the second half of each game, he just manages to recover it. It's crazy. It's like he plugs in a different mouse or doubles his DPI or something for the first half, and then he's like, all right, let's play.
If the second half is him with less DPI, I'm terrified of what the idea of more is. About AZ, they had no idea. They had absolutely no idea that Orman had managed to get down vent that fast. He goes retreating into the site and is pushed into the hands of his opponent. Nice take from ViCi, but a fairly basic one. And they've got an afterplant position with no real hope of Tiger actually coming back into this round. That is, well, one of the fastest B takes I think I've seen in a long, long time. It took 1 kill in about 25 seconds, and that's it. That's round over. There's nothing they can do.
We saw it earlier on, Tom, but it was the T side on Inferno that did this. The 4-man save. Certainly more normal to see the CTs, and it is what I said at the time, right? We see it sometimes when you get a bomb plant and the team just doesn't feel like retaking it. I think it's the right call considering where the economy's at. I don't disagree with this in any way, shape, or form. The only downside is those rounds are now building up in favor of ViCi, and we know that typically the CT sides aren't amazing for Tiger. I want to see them get on the board. I want to see them do it soon. And this round right here, well, it's the perfect time to get it done. They've gone for a double op setup. On the CT side, that can cause a lot of damage, but it also limits your retake ability. So they definitely have to come through with much better holds than what we just saw in that round.
Oh. I've got a slight pause. It doesn't look like one of a tactical nature either. Maybe a slight tech issue. The change up to the secondary op, I imagine, is going to set Cabal up to hold the ramp on a more individual level. I have to hit some pretty tasty shots because that's a position that ViCi really do like to pressure. I think a lot of teams underutilize ramp because of how much of a tight chokehold it can be, especially because you can get the same direction with the set of smokes outside, which is, although more open, normally the safer of the two options. They are going to throw out a little bit of utility. Now, this investment into double AWP is something that could probably be countered by some faster A-site takes. Again, the vent drop's going to come in. with Zoking wrapping around, they've gained so much map control with very little resistance. And Cabal, it seems like he's aware of it, almost as aware as Advent, that he's going to come peeking around that corner. Even still, though, Jam Young will fall. But do they expect this second player in the form of Zoking to be here so soon? Right, just waiting patiently, looking for some sort of opener. The bomb, however, actually interested to see where that is dropped. Was that an attempt to get into the vent, or did it fall down the vent?
No, it's up
It was
above.
an attempt. Ah, that's rough.
That's really tough because it's not as easy as just jumping down. Instead, you've got to take that fight hard and fast, get out onto the site itself. This is the round we wanted to see from Tiger. There's the nade kill for Cabal. After tagging him up with the op, he finishes Alman off. Advent's low as well. And this flank, well, it's one of the better opportunities. Cabal only able to get one before going down, but Kaze is dealt with elsewhere. And Zoking's got an ace clutch, a 1v4. Pretty much no hope.
Honestly, I think if anybody was going to be able to pull off like a 360 no-scope, it would be this man. It's just one move of the mouse. That's the funny thing for people who don't know, that he doesn't actually have like crazy high sense. He just moves his arm like miles. Like it's actually ridiculous. It's like his mouse is alive and he's having to battle with it while he's playing the game. Like it is truly a sight to see. It's a shame that many people won't get to witness this for a while, not only because there are no LAN events, but normally because ViCi aren't the ones to qualify. But yeah, it's something that whenever you see him play at a LAN event, you're like, that can't be a real thing. But it is. And oh, for that, he's a pretty good player. But then again, you do have some of the best players in the world that have some weird settings or sensitivities. Woxic, for example, very high sensitivity. And that's why you see some of those crazy flicks. Zoking, though, looking to lead the charge, but it has not gone well. The fast upper take couldn't have gone worse, you could say, as it is now left on to Kaze for a 1v5 ace. Maybe he can do it.
No, I don't think he can. Not with an op, especially. These guys need to peek him one at a time and give him all the opportunities. And also, one by one peek does come in for Dobu. At least he manages to connect the kill, closing out the round and ending them on a 4-2 scoreline, keeping things real for Tiger. The possibilities are tangible. They can still get a buy over on the T side, but that's the least of their concerns based on how these last two rounds have gone. There's a lot of work to be done. And I look, we can't be overly critical of a faster A play. These things happen. Sometimes they don't quite go according to plan. But I can respect the attempt to try and overwhelm Tiger and catch them off guard. But their players, steadfast, easily sprayed them down. And Tom, I wonder if you're Tiger at this point, you know that you're coming up against the final buy in a way for ViCi for a little while. Like you can equalize up 4-4. Is this where with the single op setup, they start to turtle a little bit more and give that space to ViCi? Or are we going to see a confident Tiger come out and start to see some map control? I'm particularly interested in how they control outside.
It looks like he might be going for a vent dive again. He's been hugely successful with this throughout the game so far, but it looks like they've been denied, at least for the moment. Flashbang going to force 9 off the angle, and Orman, in fact, isn't going to take the risk. Now, Zoking's managed to get very close to Mini, and in fact, just the utility that was thrown out by Orman has actually baited Urcast into rotation. This could be perfect for ViCi. They've almost played off the fact that they've done something so many times to now try and switch things up and gain control elsewhere. Jam Young checks underneath to see if he can spot anybody within heaven. But it's actually going to be Dobu who catches out Zoking lurking around the outside. The thing is, it's whether or not he expects anybody else to be this far out, especially at this point. And more so whether or not Jam Young's position is going to be as impactful as it could be. It definitely seems like NCL is aware, but sometimes against Jamyang, being aware is not quite enough.
The NCL, he's got the position for sure, but he's whiffed completely and utterly whiffed, Tom. Oh my. That round was his. He had it.
I don't know if it was his. Like, he was surrounded by 3 different players, but I get what you mean. He should have at least got something there.
The player close was low as well, right? That could have easily been a double. The peak from heaven was perfect, but...
Wait,
Jeez.
why did... Oh, wait, it's 9... Yeah, no, Jamyang hadn't done anything yet. I was thinking, like, was that after he got a kill? But it wasn't. Kaze, it's going to open things up. Urkist is down and out once again. He's having another poor start to another map, which is has been a huge problem for them. And, well, it's a 3-man vent dive. All the way down they go, and the B site will be under their control. They've tried to set up the door opening to give some space. They're wary of Cabal's rotation, but this time he's not going to be facing into the B site. And I think Jamyang's actually a little bit confused as to how there's nobody here. It is going to be a 4v4 retake. The question is, Mitch, do they even attempt it on the CT side? They didn't last time.
Honestly, I don't think so. And, okay, they're making the right call. They're falling back. 4v4, again, you're in this position where you've got 15 seconds max to get in there and really get your teeth into it. It's not worth it. There's so many angles to check, and they had a very two-dimensional push into it. Oh, man, this is a hard pill to swallow. If you're Tiger, you know, it was looking like this series could definitely be yours. And whilst the possibility still there, and I do genuinely think they'll do better on their T side than what we've seen from them on CT so far. I mean, they'd be hard-pressed not to, Tom, really, wouldn't they? I do think they need more. They need to stop ViCi because this ball is rolling and it's starting to snowball. It's not even turning in... I don't know. What's a giant snowball? Boulder? A snow boulder? Is that what it is? I don't know, Tom. What's it called? What would you call a snowball? It's become the size of a boulder.
I don't know. Big snowball.
I'm googling it to see if there's a name for it. Big snowball name.
Ooh, nice start for Cabal. Gonna get that opening pick onto Kaze, who has been causing them some problems. Zoking as well, trying to lurk outside. Obviously, 6 rounds on the T side of this map is pretty decent. 9. Oh, he's got the right idea. He's even feeding information over to his teammate, but it doesn't matter. Zoking's going to win that duel anyway. And now the smokes fall outside. There's not really anything 9 can do. He's going to go rotating to try and support on the B side of the map. The bomb's actually still outside. They've not dedicated to this. They've thrown those smokes down again. And as said, like, they seem to utilize a lot of their grenades, not just for takes, but for baits.
Looks like it's just called a snowball, Tom. At Advent, he's taking down 9 to start this one off. We'll see if a little bit more can be done. Cabal and Dobu, well, they're pulling it right on back to man advantage for Tiger. The bomb down in the open. Great flash. Dobu not able to deliver as NCL falls. This is getting a little bit scary. Dobu delivers, though, yet again. He's mailed it. He's posted it. He's licked the stamp. Although you're not supposed to do that for hygiene. And instead, people could poison the stamps. I watched a Criminal Minds episode where they put arsenic on it. And everyone licked the envelopes and they died. So don't do that. Lick your finger and put it on. It's a better play. Safer, just in case. Never know, Tom. But also I learned that if you roll a snowball down a hill, like a big snowball, a human-sized snowball, it's just going to fall apart. Because of uneven centrifugal forces. Makes sense. Because of the weight of it. But yeah, they're not called boulders. I mean, they should be called boulders. Tom, if I had a snowball the size of a house, it's not a snowball anymore, is it? You know what I mean? Apparently it is. I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Okay. Size doesn't always matter, Mitch. You should know that.
Well, Tom is a perfectly average height male. I don't know what you're talking about. Definitely does
Sure.
matter if you want to, get through a doorway without having to crouch. No problem. Banks always has to crouch because he's
or reach
freakishly
something
tall.
off a high shelf. But either way, we are going to have the push coming in. Advent has started things off with a pick onto NCL9 with a nice trade. Are they going to check for Dobu? Orman does. And that now leaves this defense down to the Orpa up above, a teammate alongside him. And well, I was going to add Urkus, but he doesn't last long at all. It is falling apart. It seems like the rounds are few and far between, and that's the worst thing you can have on the CT side, especially with everyone dropping. The money is still there for now, but ViCi are really strutting their stuff over on the T side. Been incredible so far, and they've already got 7 rounds.
Yeah, 7 rounds T side ain't bad. Just kind of waiting here, finger on the vein of Tiger, trying to see if I can get a pulse. See if I can get anything from them. And the double up setup again coming out. This aggression, I like it from Cabal. Oh, I don't like it anymore, Tom! Why? Who shift walk? But guys, look at your left! What's happening? What is this round, dude? Gonna push up ramp with an op? Have your support player then flashed and no one checks him? Oh, this is just madness.
Manly screams. Manly screams. No one heard that. Dobu. Playing with the doors. The bomb's gone down. Advent low, but with Jamyoung and Zoking still standing, it may not be too much of a problem. NCL the only one with a kit, and Jamyoung is just looking incredible. A rotation coming in from the remaining 2. Counter flash is being expended. Need to get into this quickly. Jamyoung trying to switch his angle and actually gets caught. Leaving Zoking and Advent to try and hold on. This is a risky angle from Zoking. It stopped being a viable one. Oh dear. Oh, that was a little bit too close. He's got it. He's got it. He almost lost off not being able to find the bomb. But Tiger just about get it through.
I don't want either of these teams to win after what I've just witnessed. Push ramp with the op. Why? The aggressive angle I like, Tom, and I immediately stopped liking it when he should held W and rushed up. Then the flash, they don't check the corner. Okay, they don't expect the second player to be ramp, and I wouldn't either after such a ludicrous push that screams solo ramp to me. He gets one, they trade out, they go B site, they get the plant, and then they peek one after another. There's just no need with so little time left. What was Zoking doing up on top of that site? Why? I just give up. It's a 9. Okay, it's a good opening by 9. I can appreciate that. Molly into the corner. Well played to isolate him. Seven 4, man. There's work to be done for Tiger, but that previous round was a lifeline. And they almost cut their own lifeline, but then they got extended another one. It's like a parachute. They pulled one, they cut it, but luckily you always have that backup parachute. Not always. I guess you always do, but I don't know. Don't go parachuting and presume there's a second off what I said. Just double check. I was gonna say I don't want someone tweeting at me. I went, but they'd be dead, wouldn't they? So they wouldn't tweet, I suppose. So it'd be fine. Do what you want.
My son said, Mitch man.
On his way down, he rang me and said, Mitch man told me I was the second man.
Oh, NCL, the timing couldn't be better. And the 5-on-3 now ensues. Zoking can only get one back, and NCL's just gone ham in this round. It's a slaughter for Tiger and ViCi. Oh, their money's starting to run dry. They're going to have to probably take an eco in this round, maybe a few pistols here and there. It seems to be the Tiger way. Go down heavy, come back stronger, and then make the game competitive. The question is, Mitch, is this going to be a repeat of map 1 or map 2, where they get it over the line, or where ViCi managed to close it out in the end?
I think ViCi are going to be kicking themselves in the face if this is ending up going Tiger's way. That round has infuriated me, and again, I go back to the point of, can you imagine coaching or analyzing for ViCi or Tyloo especially? My God, these people are brave. They deserve some medals. And it's such a juvenile thing as well, Tom, to treat around like that. Like, the only excuse I have for Zoking playing on top of the site, because, listen, he's not an idiot. He knows that's a bad position. It's not like he sat there going, wait, what do you mean I shouldn't be stood on top of the site where I can be shot from everywhere and my teammate can't have a crossfire with me with so little time? What do you mean that's a bad play? I don't get it. He understands. But he chose to do that out of sheer confidence. The fact that they'd already won the round. If anything, he was a bit of bravado, saying, come and get me. He was looking for some extra kills. And it's just such a childish thing to lose around because of that sort of just silliness, where you approach it in a manner of, well, we've already won, you know? And even if you don't win that round, oh, we're so far ahead in the game, it's easy. Because that's how you end up losing games that you should win, and I think ViCi, Tyloo, Tiger, they should know that very well by now. Urcast was on a bit of a tour, having a walk around.
Well, Tiger have built up their reserves a little bit here, Mitch. They may need it going into this next round, although it's not actually that much money for ViCi. You have to bear in mind they did buy down a little bit in the last round, and because of that, they're going to suffer what is the Galils. No AWP either for Kaze. In fact, he's even going to drop down to a Galil just to make sure they can afford the extra utility. This is not the prettiest of buys to what could be the difference between a 9-6 fairly comfortable T side to, well, losing the half. See whether or not they can get this one over the line. The buy on the CT side, definitely a better one. There have been some criminal underperformers. Oh, because there's one of them. It seems like Zoking almost wanted to hand him that kill with the initial whiff, but it doesn't matter. He's found the kills nonetheless. Is in fact Zoking and Advent to find initial kills. And again, they've just disappeared. They've gone, see you later. Down the vent we go. We're going to head onto the B site.
Well, they've biggity bailed and hopefully won the round. At this stage, I see very few ways to end up throwing this one away, as Tigers should just look to turtle in and save, but there is a player still out here in between them. They know all about him, and Zoking goes down. That should be the end of the damage done, but no. Kaze, well, he'd managed to evade my eyesight. I thought he was down below on B, but instead he'd come up behind, taking a kill, and Cabal last alive. Oh, that is not a good position to be in at this stage of the round. Had the option to go CT, wanted to go into heaven, and well, he's in heaven now. He's gone. He's dead. One round left. And at this stage, Tiger are guaranteed to have a bad CT side. This half is... they're walking the line between bad and atrocious, and this is where they've got to choose which side they're on. Although, it's not a strict choice. You know, ViCi trying to push him. Gonna be those things like the sumo wrestling on a sports day.
I think that was just, that was you and the gym teacher, right?
Yeah.
Special like
special
sumo.
They don't.
Okay, I've not carried this.
They don't
on.
wear any clothes. These sumos.
No. Here we go. Dobu. He's gonna get the opener. It's Jam Young to trade. The ramp has been somewhere they like to pressure quite regularly. They're going to get onto this B site again. I feel like that's been the main goal for ViCi in this match, is to get on towards this B site. And unfortunately for Tiger, there haven't been too many successful retakes. We'll see if they can manage one here. Flashbang out, Zoking. Fantastic shot. He's had a much better game, it has to be said. And they are slaughtering them as they attempt to retake. Nine! What are you doing, Jamyang? Did you just go for a knife kill?
No. He was trying to run with his, I think, knife or pistol. He was swapping weapons. Didn't react in time to the
Oh,
player being
God.
there.
There's a chance now. There's a real chance. 10 seconds, though, and no, he doesn't have a kit. It doesn't matter.
Easy.
Advent will close the round. He finishes positive as well. And ViCi, they've done it again, Mitch. 9 rounds on the T side. Looking very good indeed.
Yeah, definitely. I have to say, it was quite odd, though. It was like sumo wrestling with WWE rules, because instead of trying to push you out of the ring, you had to get on top and pin the other one down. I found it weird that the uniform was just a thong, but
Stop! For God's sake.
I was also mud fighting, like oiled up, you know. Only me, but 9-6.
Jesus. There's a line in the sand, and you have wow. You're going through it.
No. We did it on the field. It was just a circle, not a line.
Oh no! They haven't checked Orman. Oh no! How's he managed to get away with that? He's even going to escape back out the door. They have got the after plant position, but they need to clear him, and Dobu will, thankfully. He's actually going to drop down the vent. That is an interesting decision. The bomb is down. Molotov out to clear. Did he go back? Oh, maybe he went back to pick up the Molotov? I don't know. Maybe it dropped. I'm not sure. Either way, he is back up with the rest of the team. There isn't really a chance for ViCi to get back into this round. Kaze does manage a quick pick. They need to be getting on this bomb, and they need to be getting on it now. There's only 13 seconds left. Jam Young, he's found another one. Oh, I don't think they've got it. I think it's going to be unbelievably close. The numbers are going too fast for me to even see. Oh my God. What? I'm not going to lie to you, Mitch. I didn't believe up until the point where he defused it. Until it said the bomb has been defused, I didn't believe they could win that round. How have Tiger lost that? That was a 3v4 retake in 20 seconds. And not even that. If anything, it was 10 seconds because they needed a 10-second defuse.
Here we go. 12.
Look, there's 12 seconds
10.
here. How?
Oh, that was to the dot, to the millisecond. We talk about ViCi as the most well-drilled team, well-oiled machine, and these guys, well, they've got everything on a retake planned down to the last millisecond. They knew what was happening. Some Doctor Strange plays. Probably the most demotivating way to lose a round, I have to say. Tiger, because they will have been sad there. Remember, they don't even get the numbers. Not that the numbers helped us there, Tom, but they don't get the numbers. So they're just going to be sat there like, oh, no, we've got it. They don't have it. Oh, we've won. And then nothing blows up. Well, that's an interesting angle to face from. I guess he's just trying to mix it up so Cabal didn't headshot him on the predictable angle, but instead he has been absolutely smacked. Nice shot by Cabal. Good opening. As ramp is now theirs, they've got the map control that they want. As per usual, you know, the T side comes in with a better buy than the CTs, even though both have fully invested and the CTs won the previous round, because why not? Really is like flogging a dead horse at this point, but I can't believe someone actually designed this economy system.
Oh, it's not good for Zoking. Losing that battle might just be the defining factor of the round. The remaining players all with rifles. Bringing it into the next one could be a viable idea. Looks like they're still going for this one, though. Oh, Advent just about gets away with that one. It's almost an even playing field here. Orman's caught one more. And now 9, he has to go pretty big. Orman goes jumping into the angle. He's left low on HP, and Kaze's going to close it out. We may not like this economy system, but ViCi have managed to get through it this time. However, you know why I said this time, don't you, Mitch?
Why is that, Tom?
Because they got another bomb plant, and that means that they can buy again.
But Tom, that wouldn't make sense for a competitive FPS game. I mean, surely you're wrong about that. Because it's not like a patch would ever come out for this game. Which, you know, doesn't make sense. Welcome to the Wild West. Get some revolvers out.
Oh, they didn't buy. Yeah.
Interesting. They could have got out Galils and they would have been in a decent shape.
Some of them could have got AKs. NCL had enough, I'm pretty sure, for an AK.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
So, yeah, I don't know. Personally, at this scoreline, I'd quite like to have seen them do it, but I can understand. You want to make sure that your economy gets built up. You want to actually have a good run of rounds rather than just trying to upset them when your opponents will have a better buy, just about. We'll see. If they could do some decent damage in this round, then it's worth it. They've thrown a single deep smoke in. This is just going to allow them to cross off the back of the flashbangs. The smoke itself is not particularly good, if I'm being brutally honest, but it's the flashbangs they throw alongside it that make that viable. Jamyang, almost an easy kill to start. It's starting to get a little bit uncomfortable, though, and eventually they swing together, and that's going to be the opener. That should be a rifle retrieved as well for the T side, and back into a retake setup once again. Maybe they didn't invest, Mitch, because they might be able to win it without.
It's just ludicrous if they do, to be honest, but Deagles and Armor can always do some damage as we've already seen, and more comes in with Advent getting shut down. Zoking, well, he sees that there's Deagles peeking him on a headshot angle, and as Kaze falls, he doesn't feel like taking that risk anymore. They've done it. They've won with Deagles and Armor, and they might even be able to take some more of these weapons away. Alman covering the retreat of Zoking, and they should just be running away at this point. The bomb's about to explode, but they've lost Alman. And Zoking's being hunted down as well. The pistols. Oh, that was scary. He makes it away. Just one weapon saved. What a disaster.
Yeah, it seemed like that all started with just Jamyang being in a position where it's very, very open. Like, I guess maybe he didn't expect that many people to rush down, but I feel like with the amount of control that they lost, he needed to reposition earlier. Of course, from then onwards, it just came down to Tiger hitting some fantastic shots and ViCi not being able to trade any of them back. Now, though, it's Zoking, one rifle, and the rest of the team all taking an eco. He's managed to get away with a pretty tasty opening pick onto 9. And with how he's performing so far, this might still be possible for ViCi.
The possibilities for ViCi in a round like this aren't... I mean, I'm not going to side with them. That's for sure. Even after one kill, it's just USPs, P2000s. You've only got the AK to play off of. They need to do so much. Well, they've picked up an AUG at least, but Alman falls almost immediately. Oh, the shoulder spotted. Zoking getting the kill eventually. He's going to be pushed on, but has a chance to maybe make this a little better. What a shot on the Urcast. Gorgeous work for V2. And now, all of a sudden, they are looking like they're going to take it across the line. At least Tiger won it with Armor and Deagles, but ViCi, they've just ecoed them.
Well, you say they. I think they is an overstatement. Zoking has just wrecked them. That one saved AK has been superb. Sure, there was a kill elsewhere. He finally gets put down. But weaponry's been retrieved. There's 20 seconds left. If they play this together, there should be absolutely no chance, especially as he has to go and get the bomb. Cabal, though, gets one, but there is the trade almost instantly. Fantastic round from Zoking. And someone, as we've sort of mentioned, up until this map, he's had one good half out of 4. And that was the T side of Train, which they lost. He was flat on the CT side of both the last 2 maps. And, well, even on Inferno, even though they won it, it wasn't a particularly good map from him. In fact, making some of the most catastrophic mistakes we saw that map. This round, though, superb. And on this map in general, he has been fantastic.
It's ludicrous, really, how these last 2 rounds have gone. It kind of defies all logic, doesn't it, Tom? When you see how they go down, but we've come to know it. We've come to, well, I would say love it, but I don't want to lie. We've come to accept it. Let's put it that way. With 5 rounds between them, I mean, this is the chance for ViCi to really just run away with it. If they win this round here, Kaze's already tagged up on the AWP, and he's playing a much more passive role now towards defending outside. Alman's there to support as well, but I think he's just going to make his way in towards main and help out on that A defense. Well, yeah, okay, he's running in there quite aggressively. Manages to tag up Cabal a little bit. I thought he was going to shift his way in, but he just comes steamrolling. Certainly scared them away from any of that control. And now Jam Young, well, he's solo here and he gets one, but that's all. Had to get much more in this position, but that's why Kaze is there to trade him out and now just hold off. They're going to play for retake. Oh, don't open that door.
Ooh. And they know he's here, so they can't actually plant the bomb. There's not really a safe spot, to be honest, but Advent's going to go a little bit too far forward, and that's going to be Urkus cleaning things up. Into a 3v3 we go. Zoking somehow managed to win that duel versus him, though, even on low HP. But that seems to be the story of this round at the moment. A lot of low HP players looking to battle it out versus each other. Really is a chance for a multi-frag on any front, and there's 9 dominating the ramp. An integral kill, to say the least. Orman's the one that has to make the majority of the move here, as Zoking is 1 bullet away from being turmoil, and Cabal is going to close out Orman. Zoking has no choice but to save, and he needs to try and outrun the bomb radius, which on this map can be very misleading indeed. Should be okay at this point. He's only going to take 1 HP, but he only had 6 to play with.
We just got a text in from Dinko, by the way, Tombiz. He says that in his new chair, you know, he got a new chair. Did you see that? I presume he's been texting us about it a fair bit. He said he likes to sit back and take a load off. Fair play.
Wonderful.
It is still early in the morning.
I do enjoy Counter-Strike as well, but maybe not quite as much as Dinko does.
Yeah, it's odd. You know, he really, really likes Asian Counter-Strike, and I thought he was exaggerating, but no, apparently he's likes to get his rocks off to it. Enjoy it. Have some fun. I respect it.
Just been innuendo at this point.
What? I'm saying he like has a little party.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, the classic phrase of party is what you just said.
Yeah. That just means to have some fun.
Moving swiftly on, swiftly as can be. This
yeah, that's what Dingo does.
Force Spy coming out from the CT side. Shut up, Mitch. Is not the best. It's actually Jam Young and a glass cannon AWP. Kaze with his trusty scout in hand. It's only Zoking with a rifle, but that was enough last time. Orman, he's going for a little bit of a spam through the smoke, but they've taken out side control. And it seems like both teams have worked out that the weaknesses lie on the B site. We haven't seen any particularly good holds, any particularly good retakes either. That was the main trouble for Tiger, and ViCi looking like they might just follow suit. Now Jam Young trying to hold the ramp. Orman's managed to dodge the Molotov, and oh no, the timing! He just about gets away with it. He's dead though. 9 so quick to make that trade. He didn't have a retreat option as well due to the Molotov. Jam Young trying to hold with the AWP, but it's a missed shot. They're going to need to clear him before any safe bomb plant can come in, and actually a lot of players are going to rotate over to the window. Looks like they're going to try and pressure him off. Utility being expended. This is such a ballsy play. This is such a risk, and whoa, it bites him. Falls straight back into his opponent's favor, and now they're going to go swinging back up to the A site. Seems like a good call. Well, it looks like the CT's maybe a little bit confused.
Well, ViCi, oh, there's a nice kill that they can actually go for this in a 2v3, but time's very limited. 20 seconds, less than 20 seconds to get in there and find 3 kills. You know, they're just going to be taken away and saving these weapons over. Again, the right call. 12-9 as things get suspenseful. Tiger, they're trying to come right back into this one. They're trying to make it competitive, and they're doing a damn good job of trading these rounds back and forth. We're still seeing the confidence alive within this terrorist side roster. And with the players they've survived on, the cash flow is decent. Can't say the same for the CT side. And alongside that op and M4, I expect to see just the eco. But that hasn't stopped them before, Tom, has it? They did it with just one AK. Now they've got an op to back up a rifle. There's some serious opportunities here for the CT side based on what we've seen. It's going to be an outside push, and they should be able to cleanly make it down the... Yeah, down through secret. No problem.
Yeah, Kaze will actually be in position, though. They've started to become aware of these faster B plays. If any man could take over a round, it'd probably be this one, but with a whiff shot to start, it's not looking fantastic. They managed to get a few pistols into play as well, but I think the T's have realized that this has been a hefty rotation. And knowing that there's only 2 guns currently in play, they're going to try and avoid that AWP. Orman in a very good spot. Now, there's a small chance he gets a kill, but Urkus is not going to give him the time of day. They've now started to catch out players from behind. The only real worry is this position currently being held by ZoKing, and he goes through very aggressively. A lot of damage done, but only 1 kill to his name. And Kaze, I think, quickly realizes that this becomes a save. Another round for Tiger. A few shaky situations, but it will be a 10th nonetheless.
I think for ViCi, though, you can look at this as a positive outcome. The fact that they've been able to save over the op, or presumably this shot has to be hit onto Dobu, who's quickly hunting him down, and this is going to be tight, but he gets it just about. But there's another player on his way now, 10 seconds left, so plenty of time to get in there for Cabal. He's actually going to wait for 9. They're going to push him together. Kaze, he has the right idea and going out a little bit wider, a little bit more aggressive. There's the flash. He pops one of his own. 5 seconds he has to survive for now, and they're leaving him alone. They realize opportunity's gone, and they don't want to lose any more weapons. Keep that economy nice and healthy over on the T side, but that does mean the op will be saved over to the CT side, and they can afford to buy up alongside it now. Where, had they have taken them down, they wouldn't be able to afford an op.
It's still got pieces missing, though. I feel like ViCi have been spending enough over these rounds that the buys are not coming in as, well, as clean as you'd like. Bear in mind, they don't have a kit. That's something I never really want to see, especially with how many times they're losing the B side. But that's why they're having a complete change of pace. They go for outside control, try and adapt in a way that denies that early B presence that we've seen so regularly coming out from Tiger. Nonetheless, nothing comes of it. And Dobu, in fact, just realizing no real need to take too much of a challenge here. Gonna wait patiently. And then that's all it took. A lot of utility expended, the smoke's no longer there. And the T's, after what is an initial hold, waiting for any aggression, are probably just gonna go for the same outside take once more.
Yeah, they sort of just let the CTs mess around, waste their own utility, and it only cost them a little bit of time, and they've removed that from the late game. Oh, but there we go. The aggression that came through from Kaze gets a kill onto 9. He backs off, and with that, the man advantage now firmly secured for ViCi. You're looking at an A push, at least, with 2 players pushing in through blue. Oh, but they're not checking. Oh, they are checking above, so they get 1, and ZoKing is there for a double. Pulls it right back. Man advantage still in play for ViCi. The bomb will go down, and this is where Tiger could be able to turn the tides.
Oh, the prophecy of Urkas bottom fragging is in play. Means this should be Tiger's game to take. Dobu and NCL. NCL's been having a damn good map on this T side so far, and he's going to need to do it again before I can even finish. It's Orman to get their 13th. 3 players surviving as well for ViCi means that their money is at least going to be built a little bit, but with the amount of utility needed to rebuy, with a couple of players still being lost, it's not going to be as clean as you'd like. The T's with a bomb plant as well are going to have enough money to buy into this round. But this is what I like to see. Like, it was much more dynamic in this round from ViCi. I think that was the problem, that they were falling back into these standard defaults, and because of that, the T's were able to gain a lot of control outside. This time they take the pressure initially, but it's not just that. Like, they gave it up after, what, 30 seconds after their smokes faded, but then they take some control elsewhere. Kaze's aggression makes things quite awkward. This is fast, though. Urkus is going to create the same sort of pressure that we saw from Orman earlier in the match. He's going to take that vent control, and now the rest of the team, if they want, can go for a similar execution outside and have that man in the back lines already.
There we go. Oh, Jam Young, he misses the shot, just catches NCL on the fade back. He's known to be towards the default position. Goes up in the rafters to try and get himself a little bit more to play off of, so he can't just be spammed down up on top. This is risky. I mean, there's not much else you can do because he'd be spammed through the floor either way, and that angle not going to be good for anything real. Oh, he's actually got NCL. Finished him off from the earlier damage and lit Urkus to 29. That's more than I expected from him. Why is that been out in the open?
He dinked another player. Like, it may seem like a silly trade, but he actually does far more damage than you might expect. Like, he dinked up Urkus and then got a kill. Now, Orman's just waiting for the rotation. This battle between Kaze and Cabal might be everything in this round. There's not a lot of time left, but it's weird. Like, Cabal's nowhere near the action. They're going to know this. The site's been taken on B. The remaining two players are low. A free kill on the first. Urkus now the only one remaining, and he's got to hold out for a damn long time. Another 20 seconds before they even really have to worry too much. He's only on 29 HP as well, and they're going to start trying to get players onto this bomb. The peak coming out, the door closed, and Kaze lands the shot. He's going to go hunting for his AWP, which is retrieved, and now it really does get tough for Tiger. 14-10 in favor of ViCi. Only Urkus and 9 with enough money to buy. And while the CT side, they're going to be looking fairly good going into this next round. Oh, I didn't realize he was also the one closing the door. What's faster, Kaze or the doors? In this case, it's Kaze. Dear Lord.
It's like in a movie. You know, when you run and you slide onto the door at the last minute as they're shooting. Does that with a bullet. More impressive, I suppose.
There'll be a very short Indiana Jones if it's like him about to get under the door and then he gets shot by the boulder.
Or the door just slams down. Like, it's been going slowly the whole time. The tether breaks.
I'm sure there's probably a parody of like him going back to grab his hat. And then this door just being slammed. Like, given how stupid that would be, it's like you lose your arm for a hat.
Yeah. What happened? Well, it was running away from a boulder. And it ran over your arm. No. The door was closing. And you just slid out as the door closed and shut on your arm. No. I made it out, but then I dropped my hat.
The beauty of cinema. That's why you don't think too much about it. Oh, pistols. Orman. We've seen this smoke used many a time. In fact, I believe, was it Urkus who was using it quite a lot? I feel it was. Maybe I've made that one up. I feel like Orman's going to get owned here. The timing. Oh, even he's starting to maybe question things a little bit. Oh, they don't really have much utility. They've invested. Oh, no! He's just gone running out. They've not reacted. Oh, my goodness. This is making me so uncomfortable. I want to see anything other than this, PGL, please. Could we just watch someone wandering around the side of the map? This is ridiculous. They finally got punished for just standing in the complete open. Obviously, he couldn't have known they were there, but that's still a ridiculous angle to try and hold. Jam Young.
Jeez.
All right. Triple spray down, and it's closed out. We can forget about what Orman just did. Promptly. See, I wonder if you know the Men in Black like eye thing that like wipes your mind. I wonder if just like putting bleach over your brain would do the same thing, because there's a few rounds in this tournament where I think I've thought about attempting that.
I'm gonna say it won't. Don't try that.
Well, it might wipe your memory for good.
Stops the past and stops the future. Freezes time.
This is why I am not a scientist. Although that idea is just about as crazy as some of the stuff that Trump says. So, you know.
That's true.
Maybe I'm the future president of the United States. I don't think it quite works.
Yeah, it's
like
a
that.
shame he didn't try to cure himself by injecting bleach like he told other people
that
to.
is true. Maybe he did. You never know.
Hopefully.
You do. Don't do that. Nonetheless, 15-10. Opening kill this time for Orman. Urkus goes down, and well, prophecy was foretold that if Urkus finishes bottom, they're supposed to win. Maybe ViCi are the chosen ones. They are the ones destined to beat Tyloo, and if no one else will do it, or no, they won't let anyone else do it, I guess. The bodyguard of Asian Counter-Strike. But either way, they've still got to close this one out. We've seen some pretty impressive comebacks. Zoking being the biggest of them. He's 24-16. As said, he's had some poor performances. Oh, just about gets around the corner. That's uncomfortable. He's going to get one as well on his way out. Sure, it's not perfect, but he delayed for a long time. 30 seconds on the clock. Jam Young's in position once again. We saw him in the last round. He's ready for them, or almost it seems. And even though he doesn't get any kills, he's delayed them for a very long time. Jumping back around, that's a risky play to make, but Orman's still there alongside him. They're going for the plant within the smoke, but he's not going to be able to deny it. Doesn't overface here. Has support coming out from Kaze and also Advent, who's fallen. They might hold on to this just yet. A 2v2. 29 seconds. Cabal in such an open position, it might not be expected, but it's been spotted. It doesn't matter. It's left onto Kaze, and he can't do it. Tiger, they cling on. Their claws dig in, and ViCi have to fight another time.
Once more into the fray, and I guess we're going to be here for a little bit. I mean, the reality is, when we look in towards the ViCi side, CT defense, they've got, what, 2 buy rounds at a force between them and an OT on a map that they are dominant as hell on. I don't believe, but maybe Tiger can do it. Overcome the odds, who knows? That's a nice bunny hop by Kaze. No shot's gonna hit for him though. And he ends up caught on the other side of the molly where Dobu's able to drop down from outside, take him down, spin on Alman. What is that? That's complete madness. Drop a flash, down the vents they go, B-side stairs, and a 3v5 with the money they've got. I think already ViCi just saved.
Yeah, probably the right call. Advent, though, he might get a slight upgrade here. Doesn't look like he's going to find anybody, and the remaining players seemingly just going to exit the site. King will be able to kill off one. That's actually an AWP for Advent. That's a huge upgrade. I don't know if they're going to keep all of their weaponry. King walking with his knife out. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the great escape for him. I guess in the end, it still ends up as an upgrade. Oh no! Urkus has found him! The game of hide and seek, but with a much more depressing end for Advent. That's a good cleanup from the side of Tiger as well. They drop a couple of extra weapons, make things all the more costly. And as you mentioned, the CT side can't really invest anything into this round at all.
Well, they have literally won this round in the past, though, Tom. We've seen it with an AK. Let's see if it can happen. You know, I've learned to disregard logic when it comes down to deciding what rounds matter and what rounds don't. There's no way to figure it out. There's no way to calculate it. Even with the USPs, the team can win the round. And the M4, that was going to be mollied out of secret. Molly just starting to fade now. The push out through the smoke, not getting them anything. But here's Jam Young coming up behind. He's been ticked by the molly. They heard him, and so he's bailing back. That's unfortunate. An opportunity there for Kaze to maybe find a kill. I think the best hope here is for Jam Young to save. The thing is, I doubt they even let him save. They'll probably go and aggressively hunt him down to take that weapon out of his hands.
So someone's just walked past Kaze. NCL's like very far behind him. Jam Young is going to get one. Second not quite going to come his way. Okay, Kaze. That's an AWP. Oh, no. That's a big whiff. That is a big, big whiff. Oh, thank God for Cabal.
If they peek that. If they actually swung in and he got the kill with the AWP and won the round.
He got enough kills to get a glass cannon AWP.
Yeah.
Those P2K shots could be everything. Have to wait and see. 15-13. This is crunch time. ViCi have definitely looked like the better squad, but this is the thing with Tiger. They're never out of these matches. I think they're definitely the most resilient squad that we've seen throughout this entire tournament. We've seen them go down in pretty much every single map we've played in this series, and they managed to strike back at the perfect moment. Kaze facing off against 9. Hoping there's going to be a flash or something here. A dry peek. It's not a battle I'd expect him to win. Flashbang over. Avoided. But now Kaze can't really afford to take too much of a challenge here. Just going to sit on a more passive angle and wait. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not.
Of course not, Tom. And I don't know why you think you would. This is Kaze. This is Glass Cannon Kaze. You're a bit crazy if you think that they're going to be doing things by the book. They're like that rogue cop at the start of a movie. Beverly Hills Cop. You ever seen it? Or them? Hell of a movie.
Sure.
/ series. The rogue cop doesn't do it by the book. Sometimes gets the job done. In the movie, always does, of course, but, you know how it is. Oh, that's a nice little pincer by ViCi. Time is on their side. 20 seconds left. Bomb has to be... Oh, they're pushing with the bomb. 9, you lunatic. He's gotten away with it for now.
He's got 10 seconds.
Moving up towards heaven. Has he got time to get out here? No, because Alvin's caught him. It's over. Yep, it's over. I respect it, because that's basically it. It's GG'd. It's done for ViCi. 16-13. They win map number 3. What a way to finish it. The indecision. Why did they not just go down? I know there was a player in secret, but they had no info on the second guy. Actually, wrong. They did have info. They knew he just killed someone on round.